And you know, we did say, Yami Adam, or where Adam Ninty years so, ye home, I had an for TV, so I will YouTube. Yami Adam, you graduated from MBCC. It may fa kwanya we so na me fast the PCA e ma nipa bi mo play role e wo yabra bom wo Canada and am say Canada hon komo na ba bidi edi kan me fast the PCA e ma choco millionaire in fact in the video so na nam so say de wo hwe me ya metumi sua ade a ene so me wo Canada metumi abewie me program no etoso mi no eye Milo TV yebra Penny Prince Kojo Tawia a ne mra ne MC Milo the CEO of Milo TV. Mr. TV video in can catch us and about for say ofri ne mu nyina danase if you say me do Toronto no me share Milo TV anka mabrabo e bianka anye said ne maba bedu we are say obi ma oba bi da 2 minutes cry wa brochira show appreciation che ni pakro Milo je me say ni nu aketwa na Milo ni mi ba bia na wo hu me da o je me say ni nu aketwa Milo wo adwuma no wo frɛ me na wadidi ese like akra bi a ofre akura sa betra nu yanche wo krom in fact Milo nyame enhira wo no abusua nyina wo ye mie ene wa adwen ne sebi wakoma panti awrade ehu mobo ba bia wo hia no bia no in fact enipa bebre e play role e wo yabra bom nyame adom ene yaba bedu bebe yadu plan ahead GH sister Jubimo wo good enti omu nyina eboa ya brabo no eye kama ewo Toronto me yonko pa in fact eto de adin a wona me kɔ no ho Smith ono so ewo Toronto baabi obia no me de ase da PCA ema no anuanom facha me se kasa na wa ha no so eka ho bi fast forward ye pese edi nkomo about wonu abi ho be kire no ewo Kotoka International Airport oba Canada wato ne ticket wabedu KLM ye wo di line so e ko gene boarding pass nya say said e wate no KLM the profilers bia betra ho a o ba na se wunim information e call application ni mu a me yem hyehyeme e mawo me yem hyehyeme e mawo enti ye nua bedu ho no de adwuma ne ma agent ne ka chen se wo battle ne visa no kra no e visitors but and it doesn't matter obi ba conference obi battle ni nyina obenya visitors visa. But obedu ho no na agent kro na asama no conference document a odu ho a won fa nkyere wo mo I don't know there wode ye enti odu o profile no say wo examine no obusabusa na questions and answers na be free nipa kro no ho no na che say ankoyi ama profile no enipa na say oba conference but application mo no enye conference na ewom say ni nyina ye visitors dey but obi a purpose is different fa she otrim enti enam sa enti no ema adano ya manam board ne flight no enti na ye nuane nim se eno ano no enti eja okofie esa bai ebe check ne visa no na e valid ane ne na adwen ne se obesa to take it foforo na je se yesi krodo so a ye ntrafa akon enye anim guase enti se kele ma anyeme a ebia babi foforo so ebegeme what you say enti o to take it na we di nkomo before graduation mpo no ene me di nkomo before graduation no afei me man guidance bi ni no man ketenketi bi obeye within few minutes no asa send me letter say IRCC for am an letter say o ma revoke ne visa no enu anu mpempi no ya na ye ka say Kotoka airline bi betumi disturb wana say airline bi betumi stop o say o ma won Canada ya na enipa bebre question ne say na enye no kre airline bia any to me say otwa obi visa mu ni ade ye kan sem bebre ma me hwese metumi anya letter na omde ma no na makan mu kakra kire na letter ni mu nsem no be kire wo say collaboration bi ekoso ewo airline officials na say profilers no any headquarters aye IRCC enuanom whether or not omo otumi no omo ni tumi no enye na wo say your concern ye pay attention to details na afei ye hu die ebeye nti ma menken ka ye nsem no mu kakra bi nkire na ehu die a ewo mu enti letter no so enie we say letter we free government of Canada IRCC Ghana good enti letter no person me here no fast on June 24, 2024 while going through the process of checking in to board a flight to Canada your file was referred to a review by a Canadian officer stemming from the information gathered during this review, the decision was subsequently taken by the airline with whom you had booked passage to Canada to deny your boarding. Good. During the review, the opportunity was taken to validate the information submitted in your visa application. You were given the opportunity to respond to questions from the Canadian officer, and it was found that you could not credibly detail or explain particulars around the following pieces of information in your visa application. What you say? Was say from the Canadian officer. From the Canadian officer. The underlying word here is from the Canadian officer. But nipa no busa questions. No what the airport who. The person who was asking these questions, no, or the person who did the interrogation, no, he was right at the airport. But what if you catch them and say airline official there? Why do you say obi owo airport obi airline official there? Me pa cho we diegu. So why do you say wo ba obi owo airport obi airline official? Obi mistake. Me person me kasa bewa. You could not credibly detail or explain particulars around the following pieces of information in your visa application. Point number 1, your purpose of your trip. Want to me my details about your purpose of trip. I know your point on the ball, no? Your employment history, answers or the man profile and on entirely information and one application and also so omu raise concern ewaha. And at the chat was it the original approval of your application was based on the information provided when your application was submitted. After reviewing the information gathered during the reviews by the Canadian officer and all other information in your profile, I am concerned that you were untruthful and or misrepresented material information in your visa application and that you never intended to travel to Canada for the purposes stated, undermining the bona fide of all statements in your application and your genuine intentions as a visa holder in the class of which you applied. I am concerned that this untruthful information and or misrepresentation of information was intentionally provided. I have reopened your visa application and I'm considering refusing your application for misrepresentation. You are being afforded 7 days to respond to this letter with any information you wish to be considered before your final decision is made on your visa application. Please note that if it is found that you have engaged in misrepresentation in submitting your application, you may be found to be inadmissible under Section 40 Clause 1A of the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. A finding of such inadmissibility would render you inadmissible to Canada for a period of 5 years according to the Section 40 Clause 2A. What you say? Enti enu no mistake or ye nyina nie. Obedu ho no. Ye busa information, ye busa about the purpose of travel want to me anka, the work history want to me anka, Into officer no so hu say information you provide or document in application mo no. What the documents be and answer information be or the deceive woman. And they say o matwa ne visa num bi o ma refuse no. Into mama 7 days. Say unfamiliar responded to misrepresentation. The man will engage himself in this act. Say when to me, I may in one say a bon one. Unfunctional trimu say obey inadmissible to Canada for 5 years. Mr. Omoni na Hawaii. Obi a person oba Canada de nenso so fa kwan papa so ne bra mesro obi ye visa ma wa ebri bia me ka ho asem ya na nkrofo se me kasa wa nya se me kasa ne wa wo ya na me pe se me ka asem a like obeti ase because me nua be man wo de adwuma ne ma agent o sika wo tu ma agent na hye wo di kai twa ticket ahye wo se twa biem enu mpo enim se ne nsa be ka and ticket ne kra na nchen e ka no mo beto ne ade no anuanom e ka wo mesro mo ni na ho ye frem na baafo ewa na baafo TV so ewo YouTube, Facebook so na baafo ana afi TikTok so me di medjuma me pe wasem me pese obebo ka bia mfa so bia ni so me da wase bo modern so be subscribe na wadi page ho dance am obi nkomo bi sei ana edi no ha ya me nka ho makra bye bye.